Your neighbor earns less than you. You know this. You have known it for years. Same street. Same kind of job. Roughly the same salary range. But something has been quietly bothering you. His children just started a new school. He just changed his car. Not flashy. Just new. And last December, when you were calculating how to manage the holidays, he seemed completely unbothered. No stress. No borrowing. No tight face at the end of the month. You assumed he had a side income you did not know about. Or family money. Or maybe he was cutting corners somewhere. But none of that turned out to be true. What he had was different. And when you finally found out, it was not what you expected. He had changed how he thought about money. Not dramatically. Not overnight. He had picked up a set of habits. Quiet habits. Habits that most Nigerians have never been taught, because they did not come from here. They came from a country on the other side of the world that survived an economic collapse so severe it should have destroyed an entire generation. Instead, that generation came out the other side with something most Nigerians are still chasing. Financial peace. What your neighbor figured out, what that country figured out, and what you are about to find out in the next few minutes has nothing to do with earning more. It has everything to do with what you do with what you already have. And by the time this video ends, you will understand exactly why some people on your street are quietly pulling ahead while everyone else is working just as hard and going nowhere. The country is Japan. And before you say that Japan is nothing like Nigeria, stay with me. Because these habits were not built in comfort. They were built in 1990 when Japan's entire economy collapsed. Stock market down 50%. Property values destroyed. Companies wiped out. The Japan that built these habits was broke, humiliated, and rebuilding from zero. Sound familiar? What came out of that collapse was not a government program. It was not foreign investment. It was a shift in how ordinary people related to money. A set of quiet, unglamorous, almost boring habits that compounded over decades into something extraordinary. Japan today has one of the highest household savings rates on the planet. Its citizens carry some of the lowest personal debt of any developed nation. And the average Japanese worker retires without depending on children, government, or luck. 10 habits. That is all that separates the financial peace you want from the financial pressure you currently feel. Not 10 years. Not 10 million naira. 10 habits. And the first one will immediately explain your neighbor. The first habit is called kikibo. Before any money moves, it is written down. Not tracked after spending. Decided before spending. Every month starts with one question. How much is coming in, how much is truly needed, and how much will be protected before anything else happens? That pause, that single moment of intention before money moves, reduces unnecessary spending by an average of 35% in households that practice it consistently. You have been wondering why your neighbor never seems to run out of money before the end of the month. This is why. He is not earning more. He is leaking less. And he decided exactly how much to leak before the month even started. The second habit will bother you because it is so simple you will wonder why nobody taught you this earlier. It is called paying yourself first. In Nigeria, the pattern goes like this. Money enters. Rent. Feeding. Data. Transport. Family requests. Church. Asoebi. And whatever survives all of that, if anything survives, becomes savings. Japan flips this completely. The moment income arrives, a fixed amount moves immediately into a separate account. Before bills. Before obligations. Before anyone calls. That amount does not exist for the rest of the month. It cannot be borrowed from. It cannot be reasoned with. It simply sits and grows. Everything else is managed from what remains. Remember when your neighbor changed his car and you thought he must have gotten a lump sum from somewhere? He did not. He had been paying himself first every single month for 3 years. The lump sum was already there. You just could not see it being built. The third habit is the one that made you uncomfortable without you realizing it. This is the habit behind the thing that bothered you most about your neighbor. He never seemed to be trying to impress anyone. Japan has a cultural understanding that your visible lifestyle should always sit slightly below your actual financial position. The car you drive. The occasions you attend. The clothes you wear. None of these are meant to signal your status. They are simply functional. Meanwhile, the gap between what you earn and what you display is quietly compounding somewhere nobody can see it. Nigeria built the opposite culture. Your spending is your announcement. Your car is your resume. Your outfit is your press release. And this one gap, this single cultural difference, is causing more financial suffering than any exchange rate or fuel price ever could. Your neighbor opted out of that game quietly. And while everyone else was playing it, he was building something real. The fourth habit is why your neighbor has never once asked you to borrow money. Japan has an almost allergic avoidance of debt for anything that loses value. The cultural rule is simple. If what you are borrowing for will be worth less tomorrow than it is today, you cannot afford to borrow for it. You save. You wait. You feel the discomfort of not having it yet. And then you buy it without owing anyone anything. Phones. Clothes. Ceremonies. Appearances. These are not borrowing occasions. These are saving occasions. The discomfort of waiting is considered normal. The comfort of owing is considered dangerous. The fifth habit is called matanai. Do not waste what has value. Your neighbor uses things until they stop working. He repairs before he replaces. He does not throw away food, time, or money on things that do not last. And the money saved through this single mindset, compounded quietly over 10 years, funded the school fees you noticed. Not a windfall. Just refusal to waste. The sixth habit is the one that will sting if you have ever lost money on an investment. Japan studies before it buys. The average Japanese household spends more time researching a financial product before purchasing it than most Nigerians spend on major investment decisions. They read. They ask questions. They wait until they fully understand what they are putting their money into. Your neighbor did not put money into that cooperative that collapsed 2 years ago. He had read enough to know something was wrong before everyone else found out. In Nigeria, a WhatsApp forward has replaced a prospectus. And the losses that follow are not bad luck. They are the predictable result of investing in things you do not understand. The seventh habit is why you have never seen your neighbor post about his hustle. Japan builds multiple income streams without announcing them. No loud posts about grinding. No social media updates about the side business. Just quiet, consistent additional income built patiently over years until depending on a single salary becomes optional. Your neighbor has 2 income streams you do not know about. Not because he is hiding them. Because he never felt the need to perform them. The 8th habit is having a specific number. Your neighbor does not want to be comfortable. He has a number. The exact amount that means work becomes a choice and not a necessity. Every financial decision in his house gets measured against that number. Does this move us toward it or away from it? That question has quietly eliminated thousands of bad decisions over the years. The 9th habit is what protected everything he built. Japan protects before it chases. Emergency fund first. Insurance first. Stability first. Then growth. When your generator packed up last year and you were borrowing to fix it, your neighbor paid cash from an account he had not touched in 2 years. He was not lucky. He was protected. The 10th habit is the one that holds all 9 together. Kaizen. Small continuous improvement every single day. Not transformation. Not a dramatic moment of decision. Just slightly better choices repeated until the results become undeniable. Your neighbor did not change overnight. He made one small decision about 3 years ago and repeated it quietly every single month since then. And now you are noticing the gap and wondering what happened. Nothing dramatic happened. That is exactly the point. You now know what your neighbor knows. 10 habits that came from a country that rebuilt itself from collapse using nothing but discipline and intention. The only question left is the same question your neighbor faced 3 years ago. Do you keep doing what you have always done and keep getting what you have always gotten? Or do you pick one habit, just one, and start this week? Not all 10. 1. The habit that exposes the biggest leak in your financial life right now. Start there. Then come back tomorrow because Smart Money NG posts every single day. Every day a new tool. A new habit. A new money move broken down specifically for the Nigerian reality. Subscribe now and turn on notifications so you never miss the information that the people quietly pulling ahead are already using.